So this is a very simple question. The village settlements exhibit a greater influence of culture. Elaborate with suitable examples. Okay. So the question is telling you that the settlements, the village settlements reflect the influence of the culture. Okay. And the question demands you to give some examples as well. Okay. Yeah, ठीक है, Sachin and Neha, you have, this is like, you have come up with some nice things. So now let us see what exactly is going to be the answer. Okay. So the first thing, introduction is again going to be more or less same like the previous question. You are going to tell that, so any village in the country, if we are looking at, we see that their patterns are different, types and types are different, and the rest of the things are also exhibiting some of the things which are very connected to the culture. Okay. Okay, हाँ हो सकता है बेटा, कुछ दिक्कत आ रही होगी. So now let's see. Okay, all of you have tried well, not an issue. So such kind of introduction can be there. The way I said, a simple introduction which suggests that yeah, it is true that cultural influence is there. And then we'll write that from some of the examples it can be established that culture is influencing the village settlements. ठीक है, तो एक connecting statement, like I always say that after introduction you have to give a connecting statement, and then we'll directly jump to some of the things that you usually observe, जो आपको दिखते हैं बिल्कुल. ठीक है. So most of the villages have some geometric shaped pattern. ठीक है. They are geometric shaped layout. The way the village is. Okay. So geometric shaped layout, if you talk about some of the areas, major areas, plains, or maybe southern part of the country where this Hindu religion was dominant and is dominant. So we see some of the patterns which are like either rectangular or maybe square. We see these patterns, that the village is having such pattern nearly. Okay, nearly either rectangular villages, settlements, or square settlements. Okay, and they are associated with the so-called, they are associated with Aryan culture, because Aryan culture believes that Brahma created everything and Brahma was four-mouthed. ठीक है, तीन आपको दिखते हैं टीवी में, लेकिन four-mouthed वो थे. Okay, so Brahma was four heads or four-mouthed or heads, and he was the creator. So when village was being created, that creation was given the influence that the culture, the belief, Aryan culture directly influenced these villages which have these patterns. Now, if you go to northeast, okay, we see some of the settlements which are circular in nature. ठीक है. Now the houses are around either circular. Some of the tribal areas of India, you'll see this, and this can be some water source, or it can be some small forest area around which they surround themselves, because they believe in the forces of nature. Okay, they think that this is the way this forest area or the hill is our god, they worship the hill, or maybe some water body. So they'll surround that area, okay, worshipping forces of nature. These are houses, ठीक है. So geometric shaped layout, some form, ठीक है, geometric is like some form that you can identify, okay. It can be more different, but two examples we are good. We have shown that this shape is influenced by this thing, okay. So you can give example of any village. Most of the villages you have seen, they can come under these. कोई example आपको याद आ जाए, some popular village, you can write that. Now the other thing which is very much dominant, the caste based layout. This is also part of culture. The caste segregation is part of the cultural practice only. So here we know that what happens, this diagram that I had given you, okay, some street, and these are the settlements. इसमें क्या है कि this can be Brahmins, Kshatriyas, okay, some groups form, okay, Vaishya houses, or maybe some influential people. So you can talk about that village, okay. And you can also show some of the structures like a school or maybe everything which is going to be around this area, okay. So if you want to talk about some other area, like let's say Maharashtra, so it will be Brahmins, Maratha, who are like more dominant other caste group, and scheduled tribes are going to be separated. ठीक है, तो not everybody has to take this example only. If we go to Maharashtra, this is a pattern which is more visible in northern part of the country, but in Maharashtra it will be like Brahmins, Maratha, some other caste groups. Okay, and here mostly if you see some of the nomadic tribes or tribal groups, they are like separated from these villages. Okay, some tribal group will be at a distance. So patterns, some of the layout changes based on the place you are. तो इसको आप क्या है कि दे सकते हैं. Okay, and other thing, if we talk about some of the folk perceptions, the communities believe, you can talk about the folk perceptions. Some of the beliefs that we have, okay. So in northwest India, mostly in northwest India, what is happening? The western part of the settlement is considered as of highest repute, okay. In northwest India, western part of settlement is most auspicious. Okay, most important. So upper caste or the rich communities settle in west. because all the people believe that northwestern part is the most, western part is the most important part. Okay. Now if we talk about the south direction, you'll see most of the maybe graveyards or what we call as burning hearts, places where we burn the dead. So no window or door in southern direction, as the air from south is considered unauspicious. Okay, it is not considered good. So साउथ डायरेक्शन में आपका क्या है, विंडो या दरवाजे नहीं बनाते हैं लोग. ओके, सो या नेहा बेटा, इट हैपेंस, that happens. Okay, now if you'll go to central India or northeastern part of India, who does not believe in either Hindu ideology or maybe about the other major religion of the country, that is Muslim ideology, they have their own. Tribal people different, they are segregated, तो उनका अलग अलग हो सकता है. So you can add some more examples. Okay, and if we talk about this, now if we come to that topic only, house types also differ. Okay, house types based on this culture perception. ठीक है. So if we talk about some of the villages in Maharashtra, okay, in Maharashtra we are taking an example, there is Tamaswadi village. Okay, so अगर हम महाराष्ट्र का, इसके फीचर्स मैं आपको बता देता हूँ, just remember this, you can use it while writing the answers. So it is going to be different for different type of people. If somebody is Hindu, among the Hindu different caste groups, if somebody is Muslim, so this village is a classic example where a lot of different things are happening. ठीक है, not happening, are visible, different things are visible. So okay, so if somebody is Maratha, which is considered as one of the dominant caste, okay, so Maratha houses if you talk about, so generally they will have 2 to 4 rooms. Even in the villages they have more rooms. ठीक है, Maratha people will have more houses. If somebody is, let's say, scheduled caste or scheduled tribe, so maybe 1 room. ठीक है, घर में सिर्फ एक कमरा ही है, mostly single room, and that too made up of mud. ठीक है, so this is the difference between the Maratha house and SC and ST. And all the houses which are of Muslim families, ठीक है, of the Muslim families, they look completely different from the rest of them. ठीक है, all are painted white. And based on this is based on the culture that is prevailing there. ठीक है, ये हर जगह ऐसा नहीं है. This village, इसका culture इस चीज को कर रहा है. ठीक है, and all the religions or all the castes know that this sun's rays is important. Okay, so most of the houses will be facing east as sun's rays is important. Most of the houses facing east. ठीक है, and it is beyond caste, religion or anything else. Okay, so if you don't want to use such example, you can talk about your own village as well. You can have an observation and you can talk about that, and nobody is going to question, because different varieties exist in different parts of India. Okay, but our examples must be like something which is given a very clear cut idea that, yeah, this is the influence of culture. Everything that we talked about has direct correlation with the culture. ठीक है, the practices that the people are having. Okay, so this village, now looking at these many factors, we know that this village is influenced by the cultural factors. Culture का बहुत बड़ा influence है. Okay, and based on this culture, you can talk about like that is scattered pattern, some of the hamleted, compact, semi-compact, this is also becoming. Okay, yeah, Manish, you can talk about some of the Mela grounds. They keep a common area where all the festivities happen. Okay, so such things are visible. So finally we can conclude that this socio-cultural perception and social space is very dominant when we see the layout of our villages. ठीक है, and you are done. So this is like you know everything. इसमें से maybe I have used some example जो आप नहीं जानते थे, लेकिन you know your village, right? You know some of the areas, and rest of the things जो मैंने यहाँ लिखा है. Okay, so this is something that is visible in most part. Okay, बहुत सारी जगहों में ये है. So these are some of the things that most of you know. So you have to believe on the thing that we have already covered. You have to believe that all those things are more than sufficient to write the answer. Okay, it is you who can easily write. You have to believe in this thing. आंसर लिखना बहुत टफ नहीं है अगर आप एग्जिस्टिंग नॉलेज को यूज करना सीख जाएं. ओके, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल आर लाइक they want some ready-made answer, which is more tough because you have no idea about that ready-made answer. You know more things than what that ready-made answer is going to give you. Okay, so just believe in yourself. Yeah, Dheeraj beta, of course you can talk about that. Okay, that some pious tree or maybe a plant around home. ठीक है, ये तुलसी का प्लांट क्या है कि if somebody is born in UP, Bihar or North India around Ganga plains, so tulsi plant is there. If you'll go to Assam, okay, it is beetle